Hey everyone, I'm back, sort of. I thank you for tuning in. I'm as I made a post on my YouTube account this past week that I was under the weather, and I'm, believe it or not, still slightly under the weather. I'm not totally 100% healthy, but I couldn't wait any longer. I've been just so excited to do another video, and Christmas is coming in a couple of days, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna soldier on. I got my hot cup of coffee, and I may have to take several drinks, and I may even have to blow my nose. I'm not sure, but if you're willing to journey along with me today, I have lots of stuff to report. Um, I got a real Christmas tree. I don't know if I mentioned that in my previous video. My landlady had an extra Christmas tree. She was going to put on her deck and put lights on it for at night, but she decided she didn't want to do that, and she gifted me a tree, which was really, really awesome and really sweet of her to do that. And I have not had a real tree since, oh my God, it's probably been since, well, I don't think I've ever bought a live tree myself, but so that means the last live tree that would have been in my living space would have been when I lived with my parents, which would have been like late 80s, early 90s, because even they switched to an artificial tree in the early 90s, I think. So it could be like how many years is that? Say 90, 2000, 2010, 2020. It could be like 30, 35 years ago, believe it or not. So anyway, the disappointing part is I've lost my sense of taste and my sense of smell. So I cannot smell the beautiful richness of the Christmas tree in my apartment, which makes me very sad. But I'm hoping before it goes to the compost that I could at least get a little hint of something. I guess it must be COVID that I got, because I lost my sense of taste and smell, which is not like a typical cold or flu bug. But anyway, so I haven't done a video for like 2 weeks, which is crazy. And I thought I watched a lot more than I did. But I do have some physical media pickups, which is cool. And then as per usual, I will talk about music I listened to, movies I watched, both streaming and physical media. And I'll also talk about the new release physical media, which came out last week and which is coming out to whenever this video goes up, to Tuesday the 23rd. So I haven't looked forward to the 23rd to see if there's much coming out, but there was some stuff last week, which of course I missed because I didn't do a video. So if you're new to my channel, the Hangout is what I do. I encourage you to get your favorite warm beverage or cold beverage, or if you don't want to have beverage, that's fine. And hang out with me for a bit. I will talk about, like I said, what I listened to on the stereo, what I watched, physical media pickups, new releases coming out, and all that and more. Before I dive into that, though, I wanted to, of course, a lot of you out there who are film fans know the sad and tragic news about Rob Reiner passing away a week ago yesterday, he passed away on the 14th. And that was strange and unsettling and quite sad. I didn't look to see how old he was. I'm assuming he was in his 70s, right? Rob Reiner was 78, yeah. And he did a lot of movies, and he was an actor, and he was, from what I tell, generally a pretty cool guy all around. I never heard anything bad about the guy. I gotta say though, like his output as far as films go, he did a lot of movies for me anyway, like 80s and let's see, mostly for me it was the 80s stuff that he did that some of them are like if I did a top 100 movies, some of these would definitely be on there. This is Spinal Tap from 1984, which was his very first movie, and strangely enough, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, came out this year is his final movie, as far as to my knowledge. So yeah, Spinal Tap. I remember the first time I saw that was at a house party. I was really, really drunk, and I actually thought it was. I thought it was a movie. I thought it was a documentary about a real band. I mean, they're a real band, but like I didn't know it was a rockumentary. I thought I was really drunk, and I was like, these guys are idiots. Like, this is the dumbest band I've ever seen in my life. And then later on was told, oh no, it's a, you know, it's a comedy, whatever. So he did Stand By Me in 1986, which is like just a great movie. I got my mom to watch Stand By Me a couple of years ago. And it was kind of a placeholder because I always thought my dad would really like that movie. But I didn't get around to showing it to him before he passed away. And that always bummed me out because I thought he would really, really appreciate that movie because he grew up in that era. And I just have a feeling he would have really identified with the characters in the movie. The young boys, you know, comic book rolled up in their back pocket, slingshots, going on an adventure, you know, things like that. So, of course, he did The Princess Bride in 1987, which is just is that like the number one feel-good movie of all time? I mean, incredible. When Harry Met Sally, which I did like. I think I went to see that in the theater when I was 19. That came out in 1989. I don't know if I saw it in the theater. I definitely saw it on video if I didn't. And I like that movie quite a bit. In 1990, though, he really took the cake with Misery, the Stephen King story, which is just, you know, I don't think he did a lot of like horror or thriller type movies, but this was Kathy Bates and James Caan. And yeah, wow. That's probably of all the movies, that's probably the one I revisit the most. He also did A Few Good Men, North, The American President, Ghosts of Mississippi, The Bucket List, and Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, was his final, to my knowledge, is his final film. He also was an actor. He was in This Is Spinal Tap as Marty DeBurgi, the host narrator of that film. Apparently he was an uncredited helicopter pilot in the movie Misery. Did not know that. So he was in a lot of stuff. And of course he was in All in the Family. It says he was only in 4 episodes of All in the Family. Okay. I thought he was in more than that, but interesting. Oh, wait, maybe this. Oh, no, okay. He was in 182 episodes. So what's that? Oh, that must be. Oh, he wrote 4 of the episodes of All in the Family, and he acted in 182 episodes of All in the Family. He was Michael Meathead Stivic. I sort of remember All in the Family a little bit when I was a little kid. It was on the TV when I was a little kid, but it was definitely not a show for little kids. So even though I saw it, I probably didn't have any idea what the jokes were about, stuff like that. So anyway, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Very sad to hear about his demise, and that very little that I know was that his son allegedly was the one who killed him, and that he was an ex-Marine officer who had some mental health issues. And so, folks, if you're out there listening and you need help, or you're thinking about doing bad things, there are 800 numbers for people who need help. So don't be afraid to reach out. It's perfectly normal, especially this time of year, you know. So anyway, moving on. So the things I listened to this past week, I was kind of in a bit of a metal mood. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this on my last video, but I have been listening to this a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring my Hobbit trilogy because I did watch that. But this, of course, has a song, Elven Path, which always makes me think of Lord of the Rings. And so yeah, that I listened to a little bit. Then I got around to listening to this Enya CD, which I highlighted in my previous video, And Winter Came. and I've been listening to that a lot lately. It's a very, it's nice for this time of year, very peaceful. Then, what did I watch? Oh, right, I forgot. I watched this I binge watched, which is very rare for me. I binge watched this new metal, or newish metal documentary. Let's see if I can find it here. Documentary. I just remember just right now that I watched that. Let's see if it comes up on Crave. I think that's where I watched it. Okay, I don't see it. Oh, Into the Void is the name of the series. That got me. So this is a really cool documentary series about stories in heavy metal, and I think it was last Monday. I was feeling sick, and I had the day off, and I just laid in my armchair, which is my blue chair here, and I binged the whole series. So episode 1 is about Chuck Schuldiner from the band Death. Episode 2 was Judas Priest on trial for the young men who committed suicide in the 80s and blamed Judas Priest for the reason they took their lives, which, of course, Judas Priest was cleared of all wrongdoing there. There was an episode about Kurt Stubing from a band called Enemy, NME, who I can't really remember that episode that well. It says he committed some unspeakable crimes. Then there was an episode about Confess, which is an Iranian heavy metal band, and they went to jail for making, anti-God music or whatever. Randy Rhoads was episode 5, of course, who died in a tragic plane crash. Anne Boylan of the band Hellion, which was a band I was not familiar with, but that was about her struggles in the metal world, being a woman in a metal band and having to put up with misogyny and, sexual predators and all that horse shit. Then the 7th episode was Wendy O. Williams, rest in peace, from the band Plasmatics. And then the final episode, episode 8, was Dimebag Darrell from the band Pantera, which then led me to dig out a couple of my Pantera CDs. This is the only one I actually listened to, but this is Vulgar Display of Power, which came out in, I think, 92, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 92 on Atlantic Records. Yeah, I still remember the first time I heard this. In fact, I think I've talked about it on this channel. I heard White Zombie, The Sexorcisto, and Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera in the same night. Driving around a car looking for places to go skateboarding with my friends. I was not a skater, for the record. I was not very good at it, but I just had a couple of friends who liked to go skateboarding, and they encouraged me to come along, and that's when I first heard the song Walk. I was just floored when I first heard that. And then White Zombie, yeah, that was a good night. But this documentary is really good. If you have Crave in Canada, the Crave subscription service in Canada, and you're looking for something cool, and you like music, and you specifically maybe like heavy metal, it's called Into the Void. It came out this year. It's one season, and it is really good, really well done. I really liked the episode. I mean, some of them are very sad. The one about Chuck Schuldiner is, of course, is hard to watch because he had a brain tumor, and he was obviously like a prodigy of death metal, and an originator, and very sad story there. And I already knew the Randy Rhoads one, but I would say the Hellion, the Wendy O. Williams, and the Dimebag Darrell, those were all really, really good episodes. Highly recommend that series. So that was something I watched, which I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I did dig out Pantera. Not really Christmassy music, but I was just in the mood. And then I also listened to a bunch of Metallica. I dug out Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. I didn't dig out Ride the Lightning, but I do like that one as well. For me, these ones plus Ride the Lightning are my favorites. Black Album a little bit, and then I kind of checked out on those guys. I know a lot of people still follow them, and that's cool, and they're probably more popular now than they ever have been, and that's, I think sometimes even when I was listening to Master of Puppets, I thought, isn't it interesting now that music that was considered kind of like extreme back in the 80s is now kind of like just classic rock, like Battery or Whiplash, or these songs, which I mean in 84, 85, 86 were considered like this is crazy heavy, and now it's like, oh, this is just like dad rock basically. But I do have a soft spot for old Metallica. I still respect them, of course, and if I had a chance to go see them, I would definitely go. I was just thinking though, this is actually a Christmas album for me. My sister got me this on cassette, Christmas of '89. I think it was Christmas of '89 or Christmas of '90. I think it was '89 though. I got this and Daniel Lanois' Acadie, and I remember laying on the couch in my grandmother's basement listening to And Justice for All, which was, sometimes people give you a gift and you're not expecting it, and it surprises you, and also it's really awesome. And I was not expecting that as a gift, and I was super excited because I think it might have been my first Metallica. I had a couple of those cassettes, the EPs like Whiplash, around 86, 87, but yeah, I just remembered that actually brings back Christmas memories in a weird way. And then the only other thing I listen to, which oh no, that's not true. I do have some pickups that I listen to as well, but one thing I listen to on streaming is a band called Castle Rat. And if you like, because I've really been in a Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm going to get to in a minute, fantasy kind of mood lately. And if you don't know the band Castle Rat, they're awesome. Their new album is called The Bestiary, I think. They're like a sword and sandals sort of fantasy heavy metal band. And they're awesome. So I've been listening to a lot of that. If I had a cool record store near me where I could go and buy their CDs, I would. I may have to break down and order one off their Bandcamp. But Castle Rat, wicked, like fantasy heavy metal. Castle Rat, go check them out. So I've been listening to a lot of that. The other two things I listen to, which I guess will go into my pickups, I did order, and I hope my mom and my sister did not buy this for me for Christmas because I've been going on about it, but I did get the Andy Williams Christmas album. I ordered this off Amazon, which I don't, some of you know, I don't do online shopping, but I decided to pick this one up because I was watching a lot of his Christmas specials on YouTube, and I decided to grab this one. This is the reissue from 2004. I don't know what the original year was on this. I don't know if it says, but it's sort of, I think this is sort of his classic Christmas album. I'm going to guess this had to be 50s or 60s because he looks quite young in the picture there too. But this has White Christmas, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, First Noel, Holy Night, Silent Night, Holy Night. Yeah, really nice. I've been listening to that in the car quite a bit. I've been going on about it a lot, so I'm just hoping nobody bought that for me for Christmas. But if they did, it's okay. I can just gift that one to somebody that I love. And then the other brand, so that was a pickup and a listen. This was also a pickup and a listen. This is the band Drain, and this is their latest album called Is Your Friend. And they are a sort of hardcore skater metal crossover type band. The vocals, and the reason I dug out the Pantera after watching that documentary, but I had listened to this earlier in the week, 2 weeks ago, I guess. Um, the vocals and the sort of delivery remind me a bit of Pantera at times. That's sort of aggressive with the breakdowns and the real chuggy heavy metals, sort of like groove metal. But yeah, these guys are really fun. I've been following these guys on YouTube for a couple of years now, and they just strike me as like really good guys and really fun. They have another album before this called California Cursed, which is also really awesome. So if you like kind of 80s, 90s hardcore mixed with that sort of like groove, Pantera-ish kind of thing, you might dig these guys. I don't know why I'm showing you lyrics, but yeah, they just look like wholesome boys. And the guitar player is like real metal, and then the lead singer is kind of more like a skateboarder type surfer kind of dude. But they're really good. I really enjoy them. And this is the first CD I have in my collection by them. I'd like to get the other ones, but this is great. Heavy, heavy, hardcore metal, just really good. So that got me kind of onto that heavy metal kind of thing. I haven't listened to this yet, but I did dig out some Lee Aaron. This is Call of the Wild from 1985. Because Castle Rat has an amazing woman lead singer and rhythm guitar player, and not that she has a husky voice, but it got me thinking about like other and Hellion, of course, which is new to me, but I do like a sort of a good husky female lead singer in the metal genre. Nightwish, of course, that's a bit more operatic, but Snow White or Lee Aaron and things like that. I was just in the mood, and early Lee Aaron, not so much this one. I think, well, she is wearing like a metal cuff on her arm with a chain, but her first album, Metal Queen, of course, is very like Dungeons and Dragons fantasy sort of hard rock. So yeah, I'm gonna take a sip here before I lose my voice. I hope you guys can all hear me okay. I'm trying to talk a little closer to the mic because, like I said, I am getting over a cold, and it's not much fun, guys. Not much fun. But I also didn't want to. I didn't want to let this go too long because the next couple days I know it's Christmas time and things are going to get hectic, and so yeah. So that's the music I listened to and picked up. So I'll go into my pickups next, and that will lead me into what I watched this past week. And I'll probably try to go a little quicker just because it's been 2 weeks, so I've watched and listened to a lot of stuff. This was a recent. These are my pickups. Yeah, and I actually have video games, and I have a role-playing game in this collection. So, or this haul, I should say. I picked up Emerson, Lake and Palmer Pictures at an Exhibition DVD. I have not listened to this yet or watched it. I don't know what it is. It has a list of songs, but I don't know if this is live or what. Oh, it says recorded live in 1970. So I don't know if this is just a music DVD or if this is actually like footage of them playing, but I picked it up anyway. Excuse me. You know, I ordered a couple things on Amazon for Christmas gifts, and you know, they get you on there. They're nobody's fools. Sometimes they'll say like, add another $3 to your order and you'll get free shipping. So the last few things I ordered, I needed to spend a couple more dollars. So I ordered this movie Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. It's a fantasy, science fiction, sort of action romance movie. I think I mentioned this on my channel a couple weeks ago. I did watch this on streaming for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was really fun. Just a great movie. I love Jennifer Lawrence. So this was just like a quick, easy purchase for me, and I got free shipping. So you don't wonder though, when you get that free shipping, like, okay, that was more than $3. It was probably more like 10 or 12. And you think, how much was the shipping? Because maybe the shipping was less than buying another. Anyway. I picked up the latest or the newest or the most recent Dungeons and Dragons film, Honor Among Thieves, which stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez. Who else is in here? Hugh Grant. I had never seen this, but I've been really in a D&D kind of mood, and I'm going to get to that more in a minute, but I grabbed this. I found this used. I paid a little bit more than I would normally pay for a used movie. I guess they marked it up because it's a newer one, but it was pretty cool. I'm not going to say it's like my favorite movie or I'm going to sit around rewatching it 100 times, but it was fun for what it was. I got the Dungeons and Dragons animated DVD a couple weeks ago, which I have not watched. I'm hoping to watch that over the holidays, but this was fun. I wish there was more like beasties in it and stuff, but it was good for what it was. If you like Chris Pine in the Star Trek movies, you'll probably like him in this because he's one of those actors that kind of seems like he's always kind of the same. He's good at what he does, but it's not really like, I got something stuck in my hair, don't I? Were you even going to tell me? Aside from the like little silver hairs that are starting to like pop out. Yeah, this was fun. What would I say? 3.5 out of 5, 3 out of 5, I would say. It was fun. Yeah. I've never seen the late 90s one. I've always heard that one was really bad. But maybe, and I don't know how successful that one was, if they'll make another one. But and the last things I got, which is so stupid, but I have a GameCube. I'm not a video game person, but back in the early 2000s, my partner and I got my son a GameCube for Christmas one year with some Mario games. And during the pandemic, I got nostalgic for those games because there was one in particular that I played, which is this snowboarding game, SSX on Tour. I'm not good at video games, but I think, in my opinion, I'm quite good at this game. Beyond that, I just like playing it, which probably strikes a lot of my regular viewers and old friends as strange because I just was not a gamer. My parents never bought me a game system, and I was not good at arcade games. But when we did have this back 20 years ago, I did rent this from Blockbuster or another video store and played it and loved it. Thought it was really fun. So the stupid part is in the fall, as some of you know, I was doing a big purge. I was getting rid of a bunch of stuff. And I was going to sell my GameCube and my games. Well, I sold a couple of my games, including this one. And then just recently I was like, I was having a hard time selling my GameCube. It just sat there. Nobody was biting. Maybe I had it marked up too high. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, that was so stupid because I sold this for like peanuts. Anyway, so I rebought this, which is so dumb. I mark my words in this video. I should not sell that again. And then the other one I got is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers for GameCube. And I just got this because like I said, I was watching the Hobbit trilogy. I'm going to be watching Lord of the Rings trilogy over Christmas. And I thought, hey, this might be fun to pop this in and see if I can play it. Like I said, I'm not good at video games. I'm just not good at it. Anyway, so I'm going to give those a try. Do you want me to go grab I'll go grab my Hobbit trilogy. Just hold on. I'll see. Maybe I can like turn the camera so you can. Let's go over here. I don't know if you can. You can see me there. Hi. This is my movie shelf over here, and I keep my Hobbit and my Lord of the Rings trilogies way up here. So, I did binge watch, I guess this is more like a week or two ago. I did binge watch all of the Hobbit movies. I got this box set in Christmas of 2019 with some money that one of my relatives sent me. And I was very excited because I had the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I did not have the Hobbit. This comes in a really nice case. It's like a hard box. It's magnetized lid. And then when you open it up, there's a map of Middle Earth, and then the movies are in here. So yeah, I binged all 3 Hobbit movies one day. I guess that was probably like 2 weeks ago. I started early in the morning, and I did not finish until like early, or well, like late night, I guess, like 10 o'clock at night. But I did want to watch those movies. And like I said, I'm going to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, hopefully over the holidays, if I can find the time. I know a lot of people kind of diss these movies, and I would agree it did not need to be a trilogy, each of like 3 hours long. The book is like this big. The Lord of the Rings is like this big. So I don't know. But I do love going to Middle Earth. I know that sounds so dorky. I do like the world. I like the little... I like the special effects. I like the battles. I like the creatures, the dragons, Smaug. I like everything about it, really. And so for me, it's not so much like, does this match up with the book, but I just want to escape for a couple of hours, or in this case, like 10 hours. But I just like looking at that world, and to me, it's just an extension of Lord of the Rings in a prequel sense. But if you like, I've always said, if you like that world of Middle Earth and the fantasy, then this is just that, but really long and very detailed. And I like these movies. I think a lot of people don't like the last one, the Battle of the Five Armies, just because apparently that only represents like 2 or 3 pages in the book, but it's like a 3-hour movie. So I don't know. I still have never finished that book, which is so dumb, but that's that. Okay. So yeah. So my last 2 pickups are actually books, and they're actually role-playing games. Yeah, I know. Weird, huh? Because I've never mentioned those on my channel in the almost 4 years that I've been on here. But so here's the thing. I won't go into this too long because still got other stuff to talk about. But when I was about 13 or 14, I had a friend, and he had a friend, and one Friday or Saturday night, we decided to hang out, and the other friend, the friend of the friend, was into Dungeons and Dragons. And so they talked about it and said, "Oh, well, you want to play Dungeons and Dragons?" And I didn't really know anything about it. I had seen like news stuff on the news about like how it's, evil and satanic and all this, but the satanic panic, as it were. But anyway, we played it this one night. We were only into the game like 15 minutes, and I was like, we came up against some ogre or something, and I said, "Oh well, I'm gonna kick the ogre in the testicles." And the dungeon master was like, "Okay, roll." I was like, "No, I was just joking." But he was like dead serious. He was like, "No, roll the dice." And I did, and then my character was dead. And then that was, I don't remember what we did after that. I guess that was kind of the end of the game. I think we ended up watching Ghostbusters or something that night. But I always had a craving for Dungeons and Dragons. I always thought it was really cool, but I didn't know anything about it. I don't know other people who are into it or play it or how to get involved. And I'm a little squirrely about going to, I know they have them at like comic book stores sometimes, like game nights and stuff, but I don't want to be, I just don't know. I'd have to know somebody, I guess. But I've always been really fascinated with that stuff. And especially like the artwork, the drawings of the monsters and stuff like that. And I do that in my own drawing practice. But something came up my algorithm, and it was about this game, and it's called For Against Darkness. And it's a very small book, but it is a solitaire dungeon delving pen and paper game. It's a 1-person game, although I think you can play it with more than just yourself. It's a very basic game, and I bought I don't know what you call this, like an additional module or whatever. This is called Caves of the Kobold Slave Masters, which is an extension of For Against Darkness. So anyway, I bought these books after watching a lot of playthroughs, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to treat myself for Christmas with a game, and I got some graph paper, and I'm actually, I don't know if, oh, they're right here. That led me to looking at miniatures and painting miniatures, which, I don't know, suddenly just spoke to me. I was like, oh, why I never thought about this before. Then that led me to like building like, what do you call them? Like tiles and that. So I'm in the process of making my own game tiles. I know that this isn't necessarily like a game where it has an interactive thing with like dungeon tiles and miniatures and stuff like that, but I did watch a couple people do playthroughs, and they did do that, and that got me really excited. And I thought, I'm going to try this. So this isn't finished. Hasn't been painted or anything, and it hasn't been mounted onto like a thicker piece, but I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. But I want to do some tiles, and then that sparked me to watch a bunch of videos about people making like little houses and villages and painting characters and all. I was like, oh my god, this, I don't know why, but this just speaks to me. So that's kind of where I'm at. Kind of hoping to go down that rabbit hole a bit more and try the game and see if I like it. If I don't like it, it's okay. I can always pass these along to somebody else who might enjoy them. But I don't, I do drawings, and I play guitar, and I walk in the woods, and I make YouTube videos. But beyond that, I don't really have much in the way of hobbies. So I thought this could be something cool. And then when I discovered like miniatures and that whole world, which I've just barely scratched the surface, I was like, I think this might be something I'd be interested in. So I am crafty, so maybe I'll be able to make some of those little houses or something. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, this is my first attempt at a tile. So this is like that foam board that you get. Well, I got some from Michael's, but you can get it at the dollar store. And then I just use some box board and cut it up into little squares. And then I'm going to paint that all black, and then do some dry brush with some white. Some of the stuff that people I see, there's one maker on YouTube called Black Magic Craft, I think he's called. He does amazing work. Like I've just got totally fascinated. So, and then what did I watch this past week? I'm just going to go through it real quick. So, because this video is going to run long. I did finally get around to watching Home Alone 2. You know, seasonal enjoyment for me. I like it. Speaking of seasonal enjoyment, I also watched The Muppets Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. And I love this movie. It's so sweet. Little Timmy is the little frog there, which I forget what his name is in the Muppets show. But yeah, this is the Muppets take on the Charles Dickens classic. A couple of weeks ago, I watched the 1951 version of A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim in it. And then I also watched A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott, which is probably my favorite version of A Christmas Carol. Though, like I said in my last video, there's so many versions of this story. Probably because it's, I don't know. I don't know if I said this in my last video, but like, I think this might be my favorite story. Like just generally my favorite story. But yeah, I really like this version. I love George C. Scott. Highly recommend that one. Though the Muppets and Alistair Sim are great versions as well. I popped on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Another Christmas classic. I did watch I don't know if I put it in this pile, I guess not, but I did watch the newer computer animated one with my niece a couple weeks ago as well, which I really like that show, or that movie as well. I did watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, a yearly visit for me, as well as The Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Christmas. Of course, I love this movie, or this short movie, I guess. And this one also has the bonus feature of the other Christmas Charlie Brown, which is It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown. And the original from 1965, Charles Schultz. I mean, I don't need to say much about that. I feel like everybody and their dog, Snoopy, get it. I also watched A Christmas Story with little Ralphie and his shotgun, or his no, Red Ryder 200 shot carbine action air rifle. Yeah. I know this isn't everyone's bag. My sister actually hates this movie, apparently. This is directed by Bob Clark, who also did the Christmas horror film Black Christmas. Yeah, I really like this movie. It's a Darren McGavin, Peter Billingsley, based on the Gene Shepard novel In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, from 1983. I believe this has a Canadian connection as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just I guess set in the 50s. A little boy, Ralphie, who wants a Red Ryder rifle for Christmas, BB gun, and all the shenanigans that ensue with that. And then non-Christmas movies that I watched, I rewatched The Substance with Demi Moore, and who is the young woman in this? Margaret Qualley, as well as Dennis Quaid. This was written and directed by Coralie Fargyat. This came out in 2024, I believe. Yeah, this is my second time. Yeah, this is my second time watching this movie. I did buy this, I guess, almost a year ago in January. Not for the faint of heart. This is a very graphic and terrifying film, but very well done. Speaking of graphic and terrifying and well done, I also rewatched Terrifier 3 for the third time. I saw this in theaters in the fall of 2024. I got this Blu-ray 4K last Christmas and rewatched it, and then I rewatched it the other day. The third in the installment of Art the Clown. I have to say, though, when I watched it this time, I thought, I don't know if I'm outgrowing that kind of stuff, but I thought, am I going to rewatch this again? I don't know. It is extremely graphic. Maybe I just wasn't super in the mood, but I love the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie where he goes into that family's house and takes care of business in there. That part, which sounds weird, it's very Christmassy. There's trees and lights and it's dark and the family's sleeping. It's, of course, grisly and grotesque and horrible. But it does have this weird, it's like, oh, this is so Christmassy. And the last thing I watched was Clash of the Titans from 1981, I believe. Yeah, 1981. Directed by Desmond Davis with special effects by Ray Harryhausen. I believe this was Ray Harryhausen's last film that he did stop motion animation for. I don't think I've ever watched this movie all the way through, but I did sit down this morning and watch it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was very fun. This, of course, is the one that has Medusa and the Stygian, the blind Stygian sisters, and the Kraken. Of course, whenever they say the word Kraken in the movie, they Kraken. They say it very dramatically. This had Harry Hamlin as Perseus, Judy Bowker as Andromeda. This also had Burgess Meredith in it, Maggie Smith, Laurence Olivier played Zeus. So if you like classic kind of fantasy movies, if you like the Greek myths, you'll probably dig this. Pegasus is in here. Olympian gods, mythological monsters, and heroic mortals populate this imaginative spectacle. Yeah, so while I was watching, I was probably thinking like, I bet young people today, like teenagers, would probably just laugh at this with the stop motion. But for me, this is what I grew up on. I watched the Sinbad movies on a Saturday afternoon in the summer. Matinees on TV, they used to play back in the day when all you had was cable. And that's when I first saw Ray Harryhausen and his animation. And I don't know why I just never got around to this. it's one of those movies where I feel like I saw it, but I think it's just because I would buy a lot of like Starlog magazines and Famous Monsters, and I would always see his creations in those magazines, and I think I had this false sense of having watched it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Kraken's really cool. The ending is wild. I mean, the special effects are just out of this world. So yeah, so that was what I watched. What else was I going to talk about? On streaming, I watched the Ben Stiller vehicle Duplex, which was a weird one. I was really, really sick and really, really tired and looking for something to just put on to shut my brain off, so I watched that. It's kind of a miserable movie, though. I don't find it overly funny. It's Ben Stiller and his wife move into this, or they buy this duplex. There's an old lady that lives upstairs. She's like deaf and I don't know. She just does things that really annoy Ben Stiller, and I think it's Drew Barrymore is his wife. And it's just like she makes their lives miserable, and I just don't find it that funny. I guess there was parts in it that were kind of funny, but overall I just found it kind of be a miserable movie. And the other movie I watched on streaming was Nobody Part 2, which has got that Odenkirk. Excuse me. Nobody 2, which came out this past August. I was going to go see it in the theater. I'm kind of glad I didn't. I really, 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 really liked the first one. This one, it's like, is it Bob Odenkirk? And his family go on vacation, and then he gets mixed up with some bad people, and I don't know. It's basically like the same as the first one, but instead of being at home, they're on vacation. I just didn't find it to be all that great, but I don't know. I didn't find it really had much meat on the bone. It was just all like a rehash of the first one. I would recommend Nobody. The original film is quite good. I think it's the same creators that did John Wick. So if you like that kind of like revenge thriller, kind of got that same vibe. So it's been 2 weeks, guys. So I watched and listened to a lot of stuff. And I'm sure I'm missing a few things here and there, but yeah. So if you have Crave and you live in Canada, as far as I know, you can still watch that Into the Void documentary series on metal musicians and heavy metal history, and it's really, really good. So go check that out. Yeah, that's about that. So moving on to what came out on physical media last week. Of course, last week, December 16th, we had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy, which came out from Arrow Video. That is a three movie box set, which I know a lot of people were looking forward to. I did not grow up with Ninja Turtles, so it doesn't really have much of a meaning to me, but I know a lot of people were really excited about that. I haven't heard any reviews on it yet, but that did come out. Boogie Nights came out on 4K Steelbook. I don't know who put that one out. If it says, I guess I could just click on it and see. It's from Warner Brothers. Oh no. Oh, okay. Boogie Nights also came out on just a regular 4K edition. David Cronenberg's Rabid came out on 4K. Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue came out on 4K. Jarhead came out on 4K Steelbook. Pee-wee's Big Adventure came out on 4K from Criterion. Now that would be one that I might grab at some point. Maybe when Criterion has another sale, because that is one of my favorite movies. Dante's Peak came out on 4K. Let's see here. The Ninja Trilogy came out on 4K box set. Paul, the movie with what's that cat's name? Oh God. I did mention that I'm sick, right? This came out from Kino Lorber. This is the one with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, of course. Although it's not part of their trilogy or whatever. The Cornetto trilogy is something separate, but I saw that in the theater, actually. Let's see, The Wolf of Wall Street came out on 4K. I guess Pee-wee's Big Adventure must have come out on DVD as well. There's a Thanksgiving horror movie called Gobblefoot, which you might want to check out if you're into that. Yeah, a lot of catalog titles being reissued. The Mr. Dress-Up documentary came out on physical media. Let's see, anything else? Scars of Dracula, Christopher Lee, that came out on Blu-ray. Those are, I guess, the big ones. Mutant Swinger from Mars. Okay. Ginger Dead Man, Murder-thon came out on Blu-ray. So this week coming out on physical media, we have The Cloud Atlas is coming out on 4K. Perfect Blue, the animated or the anime on 4K. Black Phone 2 is coming out to physical media, 4K and Blu-ray, and probably DVD. Begonia is coming out. That's the latest A24 film is coming out on 4K. The Smashing Machine is coming out on Blu-ray from Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is coming out on... I guess I can click on that because it's the last one for this week. From Shout Factory, that is coming out on 4K. That, I don't know. I've got the DVD of that. I don't think I need a 4K. And that's it for last week and this week. So of all of those, I think Begonia is one I would like to check out. But, you know, if this was a year ago, I would have just blind bought the Blu-ray. But I think I'll probably wait for that to come out on streaming. I don't really know much about it. Black Phone 2, I was not a big fan of the first Black Phone. As I've mentioned in previous videos on my channel, just not really my thing. But guys, that's it. 52 minutes of Hangout goodness. Oh, I also bought this little pendant, which is a dragon's claw holding a black jewel. It's Christmas, guys. Are you guys excited for the holidays? Excuse me. I feel really bad about doing this, but I just know the next couple days going to be so busy for me with stuff that I just wouldn't be able to find the time to do another video. But are you excited for Christmas? I hope you guys are. I hope you're well out there. I sound a lot worse than I actually feel. I don't actually feel that bad. I am going to take my niece to see Santa Claus this afternoon, so I'm excited for that. And moreover, I'm excited for her because she loves Santa Claus. Allegedly, I did not witness it, but years ago, she went to a party where there was a Santa Claus, and apparently she would not let go of him. So I'm excited to take her to visit Santa Claus. And yeah, other than that, I am kind of unofficially on a bit of a break from where I finished my retail job yesterday, which was very relieving. I've been wanting to leave that job for a while. Not because I didn't like the job, but just the nastiness of customers. And that's not all customers. I had a lot of wonderful, beautiful, amazing customers with a lot of wonderful, amazing, beautiful conversations and stories that we had. But moreover, I'm getting older and I'm tired of waiting on people, and doing the personal care for my niece is my preference. As a person who lives with a disability, she and I get along quite well. We have some fun times, and we get to just hang out and do fun stuff, and I love that. And it allows her to get out of the house and experience some life that she might not otherwise experience. Being the child of a single mother, and hey, if I can step in and help out and get paid to do it, then yeah, I'm really happy about that. So yeah, in the new year, I'm just going to be focusing on working with her and maybe trying some of this tabletop stuff, and maybe doing some crafting, making some dungeon tiles and dungeon worlds in a physical sense. The miniatures, what I've looked into, seems like it's quite an expensive hobby. So, and I don't know, those figures are very tiny. I think they're like 28 millimeters tall. So with my eyesight, I don't know if I'd even be able to like get in there with a paintbrush, but I haven't really spent a lot of time reflecting on 2026 and what I'd like to do, but continue, of course, with the channel and continue to grow the channel. I had really hoped to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, but with my change in style on the channel, with not doing physical media pickups so much and movie reviews, I've lost a lot of viewers, which is okay, but I do want to welcome a few new people who have joined the channel recently. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you will enjoy my content. And I'm always trying to evolve the channel and add new things to it, so we'll see. This year's been pretty fun. I made a music video, which you can go back on my channel and check out. The music project is called Midwich, or Midwich if you prefer. And I did do a music video back in August, which was really fun. And these Hangouts, which have started to be sort of my main focus on the channel right now since the summer. And these have been really fun to do. And like I said, I'd like to do a live stream eventually, but for now, this is the deal. But I hope you guys are all doing really well. I hope you're excited for the holidays. Don't stress yourself out over everything being perfect and having everything and doing, it is just Christmas. I mean, it is the welcoming the winter solstice and experiencing the winter. We've had some snow. We're getting some more mild temperatures recently, but I'm hoping maybe we'll get a little dusting for Christmas. I always like having a white Christmas. Spending time with my mom and my sister and our kids and a few of my friends, and mostly just enjoying food. And we'll pop on some Andy Williams Christmas, and we'll have some snacks and just chill out. So that should be fun. I'm hoping that I will be, as the recording of this is Monday the 22nd, so I'm hoping Christmas is another 3 days away. So I'm hoping at least by the end of the week to feel a bit better and enjoy a hot turkey sandwich on Boxing Day. I'm already feeling hungry just thinking about it. There's lots of people are doing their year-end best of things. I looked up like movies 2025 and honestly can't say I saw a lot that really blew me away this year, but maybe I'll do like some mentions of that in my next video. And but there are a lot of channels that I watch that have done some great year-end stuff. Banger TV, which is Sam Dunn, who did the Metalhead documentary. Him and some of his co-hosts have done their top albums of 2025, so I've discovered a couple of really cool new things on there. Possessed by Horror is another channel I watch, and that person has talked about their favorite movies of the year, so you can go check them out. Another channel I really enjoy is Red Letter Media, and they just did their Christmas episode, which was really funny, talking about Christmas and non-Christmas movies. So if you're looking for some new stuff to watch, recommend those channels. That's it for me for today, guys. I probably won't get another video out before Christmas, so I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. But I will try to come back before the new year and do maybe like my favorite movies of the year or something like that, or just another hangout. Who knows? We'll see. I didn't ask for any physical media this year for Christmas, so I'm not expecting to get Blu-rays and DVDs, but who knows? Maybe somebody will surprise me. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for me for today and for Christmas 2025. I hope you guys all have a fantastic time. I hope you get to spend time with your favorite people or your family, who may also be your favorite people, friends, community. What else? Take care of yourselves. If you need help, there are 800 numbers to reach out to for mental health crises. And for my LGBTQ plus friends and family, don't be afraid to reach out for help if you need it. This time of year can be really hard for queer individuals and a very lonely time for some folks. So if you need the help, reach out. There's no shame in reaching out. It's actually very good for you and a very positive thing. I sound like Trump. It's beautiful. Call the 800 number. It's incredible. It's the best 800 number you could call. I shouldn't do that because maybe that's triggering for people. But also, fuck Donald Trump. And, after his nonsense this past week talking about dissing Rob Reiner, who was just murdered, like, pardon my French, but you can go to hell. But I don't want to leave on a sour note. Things in Canada are challenging, of course, with what's going on. But I feel like, we were dealt a pretty heavy hand early in the year with the nonsense in the United States. But I feel like Canadians are really, they're rolling up their sleeves and getting to work. And so that makes me happy. And we need to continue to support our Canadian friends and businesses and communities and everything. So get out there and do that if you can. If you can buy gifts for other people and they're made by local craftspeople and makers and people like that, maybe you have some friends in a band, buy their CD and give it to somebody as a gift, or buy some zines, or go to a local theatrical production. There's lots of ways you can support your community. So do that. And with that said, that is it for me for today, guys, and for this week. But I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you to everybody who's continued to support me on my channel. Leave comments, give me thumbs up, watch my videos and all that jazz. I really appreciate your continued viewership. And I also really appreciate that a lot of people left me when I decided to not do the physical media pickups so much, which is fine because that's, I guess, what they were watching for. But for everybody else who continued to support me and watch my Hangout videos and enjoy them and comment, I really appreciate that. So take good care of yourselves. Eat lots of good food if you can. Reach out for help if you can. Call that old friend you haven't talked to in a while on the phone. Let them know that you still love them and all that jazz. Take good care of yourself. Take some naps. Eat some good food. Go for some walks in a chilly winter path. Listen to some cool music. Watch some cool movies. There's lots of cool stuff out. And that's it for me. Is it really? Am I done? Am I done rambling yet? I don't know. It's just because I haven't done a video in so long. And I've been really wanting to get on here. But that is officially it. So, guys, until next time, you know the drill. I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. Maybe I will see you before Christmas, but not likely. Probably into post-Christmas, but pre-New Year. I'll do like a New Year's Eve thing or something. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And Merry Christmas.